You know, the enemy don't like what we're doing, and we got to lift each other up. We got a lot of just different things, just life things happen. But some of the things I want to focus on, and some of the things I want to talk about today, is to kind of help us get refocused on that, right? And it's talking about a little bit of smarting our goals, right? And so before I go there, I want to kind of open it up, and of course to those of you guys that's on Zoom too, it's kind of open it up, and I just kind of want us to kind of freely talk for a few minutes about our assessment of our business, where we are. What do you think some of the some of the obstacles are that is maybe stop you from hitting your goals, or maybe you feel comfortable where you are. Then that way we can kind of figure out ways that we can help as the LBRS. We got some ideas and some things we're going to put out today, but I just want to hear from you guys to see where you are, to see, you know what I mean, how you think the business is, and what is your biggest obstacles that you think is hindering you from reaching the goals that you want to reach. Because I know a lot of us had goals coming in this promotion. Right. We had a really bad April. March, we came out strong in the beginning of the promotion. April, we slowed down, and even now we're midway through May, and it's still not a whole lot of things being generated right now, particularly with new people coming on. March, LLG brought on, I think, like 4 or 5 people as far as agents. And then we as a team, though, we haven't been creating that type of energy. So one of the things we learn is that it takes attitude and activity in this business. Right? And so activity it's nothing like fresh meat or fresh blood, particularly when we're dealing with making money, right? Because the oxygen to this business is money. Right. If nobody's making money, sooner or later, we all gonna burn out, right? And so we have to figure out a way that we all can begin to make some money. So one of the ways in doing that is bringing in new recruits, you know, becoming a certified trainer and that. So we'll talk about it in just a minute, but anybody want to you can just chime in, those of you guys that's online as well. Just kind of give me your thoughts. So what do you think of some of the hindrances to you maybe not reaching your goals, and some of the things we can do to help you do that?
I mean, I think I've been successful as far as putting the word out and getting people interested in the products. And I don't know, I guess because I know who I'm talking to, because I haven't really talked to like cold people. As far as them being interested in the business piece, because really my main focus is to get people covered. Okay. And my secondary is the business part, because I'm just finding more and more people who don't. So literally when I get off work, maybe at 6 or 7, I'm pinging people either via Facebook or who's on my phone, because I'll go back through and see who I've pinged before, and I'll follow up. Hey, you know, I'll do that, and that's pretty much from maybe 7 to 9 o'clock, pretty much. Okay. And I try not to disturb people after 9. However, on social media, ain't no time limit on
right.
that.
Ain't no time limit. Right?
Yeah, so they see it whenever they get up the next day or whatever. And then literally 2 days later, I'll go back on the social media piece and I'll ping them again. Okay. But what has also been beneficial for me is doing, I guess you say, a social media campaign on my page. Right. But so I've had interested people contact me or reach out to my page or like my page. One thing, whoever likes my page or my website, then I circle back around and direct message them with more information. You know, say, can I get a phone call with you or whatever? But I really haven't had, and that may be something I can get from y'all as far as people that I can start getting them interested in the business part of it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So a lot of my dialogue with them is about the product and getting you and your family covered and, you know, secure for the future.
Now, one of the things is Jasmine in Dallas has been doing a great job with the social media. One of the things is, but one of the things I'm noticing with that, and I think that's on all areas that we're doing, is I think right now what social media is shown, as far as what I've seen through the reviews, is that social media would do pretty good, but we're having trouble actually closing business.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Because it is a kind of distant type thing. You know what I mean? So we have a little problem. Hello.
Good morning.
We're having a little problem actually closing business. So And so we get the good contact out, we get the word out, and
Yeah.
we do all of those things. God bless you. How you doing this morning? Good. And
And it is. I agree with you as
Possible,
far as
yeah.
the closing
before
part.
the closing, yeah. And so I kind of want us to kind of begin to focus on how do we get that closed, right? So come down, we'll come down for one more. Yeah. So the price is sitting. How you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Bless you. How you doing? How you doing? We just having an open discussion right quick before we get into the lesson. Kind of talking about the prices just came in, guys. Kind of talking about some of the hangups we may be having in closing business and some of the ways that we can be able to push the market forward. We're going to talk about some planning stuff in just a moment. But Sarita was talking about how that she's been having some success with reaching people through social media. We know Jasmine and Dallas have. But my experience so far, and I don't know if this is you guys' experience, people that I contact on social media, even though I get to do presentations and talk to them, it's hard to close the business. I really haven't had a good close ratio on that. And I know Jasmine, I think she's brought on one agent. We got an agent in Atlanta that was pretty cool, and she got one that may be coming on soon. But I haven't really seen a lot of business. And so I know that, creating activity is good, but I think we need to learn a little bit more on how to become closers.
Right.
And how to actually close the business. So,
I think because I too share a lot of information and able to explain everything. And well, I'll get a rock. Well, if you get a rock, then you still, I'm breaking it down, and it's getting to the closing part. But I've also reading that book, the Tony Robbins. I've been reading that book, and he states how they did a scientific experiment with these monkeys. Like they gave the monkey an apple, and he got all excited. Then they gave a monkey 2 apples. He got all excited, but when they took 1 apple away, then he was upset. Even though he still had the apple,
right?
They were still upset.
Right.
I think the closing part is people like, oh, no, I have to spend more money.
Right.
Y'all trying to take my money, or
yeah,
I'm trying to help you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah.
Hey guys, on Zoom, if you guys want to chime in and have a question, just raise your hand. I see you and I get you in. Okay. So yeah,
Trying to redirect your money so it can grow for
you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I try to explain that to them, follow up, but then it's still the closing.
The closing part. So anyone else having any challenges, anything that they want to talk about with the team that maybe can help us help each other drive business and yes, sir.
I want to get a contract with another company. So.
Which I have it's in our new I forwarded to you. It's in I have the instructions in our new onboarding packet, but you guys have the old one. But I have the new one. They have Phoenix, LSW, United Hit Home, and about 4 of them that you can just go online and get it submitted. So
then also
we'll come back to it. It usually circles back around.
Yeah, you do. Probably when you're driving home.
That's what it was. Time, yeah. Time has been an issue for you guys.
Yeah, medical.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've done one maybe 5, and I found it to be kind of lengthy also. I guess my initial thought process is that it would be a lot faster because I'm thinking you submitted and things get wrapped up, but now I'm having to be proactive when I'm putting the application in. Okay, do you need the high blood pressure one? Do you need all those other
questionnaires?
documents?
Those help a whole lot.
Because I've had a few people, anything else I got to fill out?
Right.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but it's going to be worth it in the end.
Yeah, hang in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to do it. Yeah. And I usually let them know that up front. I mean, I let them know it's going to be a month, 6-week process, and they're going to keep coming back. You know what I mean? So I kind of let them know to kind of soften those type of questions up front.
Right.
The words I actually use is that when I'm talking, I actually put it in there. I say because it's living benefits and because living benefits is a privilege to have. I tell them that they do what is called an extensive medical background, and sometimes it may take 3 to 4 weeks, and we may have to come back to you on something.
Right.
So go ahead and kind of be prepared for that.
Right.
Have we had success going into like businesses, maybe small businesses, to say, you know, can we come in and do a presentation with your staff?
Mhm.
'Cause I'm
Not
just-
yet. We're just now starting that division. Actually, starting this month, we're going to switch up things a little bit. I'm going to be the small business running the small business division,
Mhm.
and Donna's going to be doing the natural market 101.
Okay.
So we will, I ask for that
Okay.
next month.
Okay. And I didn't know if it
I
was
will
too
be,
early to
I will be
ask,
knocking
but
on a lot of doors.
yeah.
That's my job, to start going out, trying to get corporate contracts and
yes,
nonprofits
I
and
know
stuff
that
like that.
that piece right there can also actually be a greater return than just, you know, doing the
It
individual
can be,
piece.
yeah.
And so that I
It's
was
a little
just
bit
kinda
lengthier
thinking ahead.
process.
Sure.
And so in the process of that, if you guys are considering doing that, and when we roll it out, we're going to get you the information of how we're doing it as well.
Okay.
But you have to make sure that we continue with the basics of what we do, right? You got to continue with the basics of what we do.
Okay, that's good.
Hello.
Hello.
So anyone online have any, that want to talk about any of the hangups that you may be having, obstacles you may be having in driving business or recruiting or getting the
have another
product
question.
out?
So how many of y'all are, I guess you could say, aligned with other carriers other than American National? I heard you just asked about that question.
I am not many right now. I don't think.
You are?
Not many, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we
it's
be
kinda
getting that
easy, like
information
you
out.
said.
It is, it's pretty
Right.
easy. Only thing is you have to have the ENO already in order to get that done.
But
Because
with
a
Phoenix,
lot
it
of
wasn't. They told me I had to do business with somebody else.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh.
Like get a block of business under your belt or what?
Oh, you had to do American
one of
National
their
first?
agents, a Phoenix agent, do business through them, that gets approved. When it gets approved and submitted, then they would consider taking it.
They want
Wow.
you actually to produce first.
Yeah, produce business first through one of their agents.
I didn't know
Share
that.
the commission or whatever.
Okay.
Not share the
That's
commission, you don't share.
They just need to know you're producing
you know.
you're producing a product.
They
Okay.
bring you on board.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Phoenix?
I tried.
I haven't tried
them.
Phoenix yet.
Yeah, I haven't tried them either.
Someone was looking at that today and tomorrow. Before I can do business with them, I have to do business through one of their
Yeah.
agents. through one of their brokers.
Wow.
Oh, is that so you can to make sure you know their product?
I don't know what it is. Yeah, that's my first out of all the ones. That's my first one hearing that you
I
have to do
never
that.
did
With. I haven't heard that with Phoenix. But you know, next week Herman is going to be doing the index annuity training. Because we have not gotten a lot of information on index annuities. And so I thought it was time for us to really start working that side of the field. Yeah, so next week is going to be a pretty important next Saturday. Yeah, he's going to roll out index annuities. Saturday morning, yes. Saturday morning.
Yeah, you want 'em- hey, for your
Yeah,
personal,
yeah.
for
What
your
you need?
personal, for your personal money, you want to put some money out in that.
Yeah. So,
From what I've been.
all right, guys. Anything else on anything we can help you guys with? Any questions that you maybe have? Any stumbling blocks you maybe have within your business?
I like to
yeah.
bring up one thing, and I think it's actually going to be very good for everyone. A lot of you guys have heard of the HIPAA law, right?
Right.
Okay, I had a situation where the father wanted to cover himself and his son. His son was 18. Okay, so he was getting one separately for his son and the policy for himself. We got results back after he had to do pre-med, and it came back saying they had found nicotine in the son's urine. And so at that point, they wanted us to write a policy, change the policy, so make sure that he's not a non-smoker, but now he was a smoker.
Right.
I did something that I probably should not have done, and that was this. And I want everybody to be really careful with this. Because the son was 18, I should have went to the son and said, your father's trying to get a policy on you, but this is what is coming back.
Right.
And that means that it's going to change the price of your policy.
Mm-hmm.
It is your decision whether you want to talk to your father or not, but I can't move forward until then. What I ended up doing, because it was a friend of a friend, I called the father and said, this is what we found. And of course, the father was not aware that the son
Yeah.
was smoking.
Yeah.
And so he decided, I'm not going to give a policy. At the end of the day, everything turned out well. He did get his son the policy and everything. But it could have really come down on me
That's right.
because of the HIPAA law. I could have done it with someone that I was not familiar with.
Yes.
And it could have started a whole lot. So whenever you're dealing with someone that's 18, everybody out there, all of you guys on Zoom, you have to do business strictly with that person. Anything that comes back, it is private.
That's right.
Right.
Oh,
right.
That's right.
Yeah, and the thing of it is even if someone is just like in this case, the son wasn't the owner of the policy, but he was, you know, the policy. He was the policy holder. In that case, sometimes people would get policies and things like that on their son and things like that they don't want them to know about. We had a case like that too. I want to insure my son, but I don't want them to know about it, right? But if anything come back, you're gonna have to contact the owner of the policy and let them know. Not letting them know what the situation is, but let them know, hey, something has come back that we really need to talk with this client in order to move forward with their application. Right. But we can't tell them what it is.
Right.
But we can just let them know that we need to talk to them. So then they can make that decision of whether or not they want to make that known.
Right.
Or they want to be contacted or not.
Right.
So that's important. That's important. Very important.
You guys are going to see a
Yes.
lot more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I brought it up before, I think it was last week, we have to be very careful even with weight and stuff, like if they're just guessing, like I had an issue a couple weeks ago with somebody, she's like, I don't know how much I weigh, I think like whatever, 280, she gave me like a high number, and I didn't even think anything of it, because she didn't look like that way, but that's what she says, but anyway, long story made short, the underwriter looks at it like, oh no, she's, this is a risk, you know, that weight. And so now I went back to her and she's like, well, I guess I should go get on the scale. I'm like, well, now you got to go to the doctor and get a medical
That's right. That's right.
documentation that your weight is different, especially if it's lower.
Right.
And then we can move forward. And so, so we have to be careful even when, you know, we're asking these questions and some people are just trying to get it over with.
That's right.
She was done and she
That's right.
popped out a number.
Good morning. Good morning.
And now,
I just added
Mm-hmm.
That's a good to know, everybody. because a
I
lot
know,
of
right?
people-
How you doing this morning?
Yeah.
yeah, they just want to get it over with. You know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought about it. I just wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I found a lot of people trying to get out of the fact of being a sometime smoker. I said, well, you're a smoker.
Yeah.
I said, so
That's
you're
right.
the higher rate.
And
I
it
said,
shows it's going to come back in the
Yeah.
pyramid anyway. If they have to do a pyramid,
Yeah,
so it's
sure
going to
is.
come back.
And, you know, they
anyway.
want to basically falsify it
Yeah.
right in the beginning. I'm like, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not even, we're trying to legal document.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you have a responsibility as the agent too,
Mhm.
because when you send that application, you said you observe.
You're the
the
first
client.
underwriter.
That's,
so-
that's on the test.
Yeah, the first underwriter.
And if something happens to that person, the policy won't
It's
matter.
null and void.
Yeah.
Right.
They
Yeah.
find it during that autopsy. Oh, nicotine.
Yeah.
The insurance company gonna be so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They will not have to pay.
Yeah.
but that's only within the 2 years though.
Yeah, I was just
Right,
gonna say.
right.
Only within the 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, after 2 years, if the insurance company don't catch it, it's on them.
Oh,
Yeah, but they will pay back those premiums.
But you don't want to
That's
put that
still
at risk
yeah.
though.
You don't
You don't want to put
You
that out.
start smoking in 2 years. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
All
the
right.
issue. People might start later on after they get the policy.
That's right. Yeah. And so most of the time they don't question. I think that's why they go through that vigorous
The
screening in the
initial,
beginning,
yeah.
because they usually don't go back a year later and check their records and stuff to see if they're
That's
smoking
another
or
thing
not.
we can explain to our clients is within these 2 years, this is how you lose money. One, you don't make your premium pay. You know, if you're in the IUL, this is how you lose.
Right.
Because they like, well, is this good? This is how you lose. One, you can start making your premium. Two, you can start smoking, and that's how you lose.
Right.
If you don't do none of those, then
Right.
Yeah.
you'll be
You're good to
set
go.
for retirement.
Yeah.
Trying to, oh, that's all I gotta do? Yes, stay focused.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Any questions online? No questions online. If not, we're gonna move on, guys, to just talk about what we wanted to deal with today, which is our smarting our goals. I think in order for any of us to be successful in this business, we are going to have to be a little bit more methodical about what we do. I believe we are winners. I believe we can all be successful in what we're doing. And it's just going to take a little bit of work of streamlining what we do. And so I just want to talk about that just a little bit this week to talk about our goals, to see, are we setting goals? And do we have a systematic way of making sure we hit those goals? Because all of us can get sidetracked. I don't know how many of you do it during the week, especially you're working and you got a part-time job. I know it's very easy for life situations to come up, right? And then before you know it, at the end of the week, you haven't made any phone calls, you haven't talked to anybody. And that's easy to get away from. I mean, it really is, you know, particularly when we're busy. So the thing about it is, in order for us to be successful, we're going to have to force ourselves to do the things that successful people do. And make sure that we do the things that unsuccessful people won't do, right? So that means we have to work the system. I know that on a lot of levels, right, that a lot of us is coming in from different fields. We're just not entering into the insurance industry, right, to where we have to do all this prospecting and we have to make the phone calls, and sometimes it make it feel like we're a salesman or what have you. But the bottom line is that's the way that the business works, right? And there's two ways we can grow this business, right? One of them is through prospecting, bringing on agents so that we can be their trainers, right? Trainers make good money, right? And so one way is bringing on agents. Another way is to really get out and be able to sell the business, right? Because we are in this to help people.
Yeah.
Right? And so the more people we help, the more people that we believe will make money by helping people. So we have to work the system, right? But let's be honest, a lot of times in working that system, you know, a lot of times, man, we don't want to do it. Come on, let's just be honest with it. We don't want to do it. We don't want to make the follow-up calls. We don't want to, you know what I mean, make the 3 to 5 calls a day, the presentations and all those things.
That's true.
But we have to learn, because we didn't do this before. None of us come from a salesman background, not the ones I know, right? That's on the team. None of us come from that. So we're learning a whole new career, a way of building a team, right? But what we have to do though as a team, we have to build habits, right? We have to build habits. We have to get systematic in what we do. I love what Steve Little said in Dallas. He says, when the first time you start working this business and you're going out and you're trying to get referrals, and you know what I mean, it's sometimes even hard to ask for referrals, right? How many of you have talked to someone and they've done something and you forgot to ask for a referral? And you leave them like, man, I you know what I mean, I did ask for a referral, or you know what I mean? Yeah, be down the road like, man, you know. But that's one of the bloodline to our business is referral, because we're in what network marketing business, right? And so, but sometimes it's a little bit awkward, right? And if all of us are honest, when we're first doing this business, it seems awkward at first. You know, telling people about living benefits, telling people about, you know what I mean, tax-free retirement, you know, calling people, you know, texting them and kind of follow up with them, seem like you're bugging them all the time, you know what I mean? You talked to them last week and now you got to make another call this week because this appointment didn't go through, or that all that seemed kind of awkward at first. You know, if you're not a people person. You know, some people person, they just eat this up because they love talking to people. But if you're not a people's person, sometimes that seems awkward. But what he taught us was, if you do the awkward thing often, it can become mechanical, right? So what does the mechanical mean? The mechanical means learning the system, learning the script, right? Learning of what to say when you call someone. And if you do this as many times as you should be doing in your daily or weekly time, that mechanical thing will become natural and it'll become part. But that's a process many of us have to go through. And we're just not going to get around it. If we plan on doing the things and great things we plan on doing within this business, we have to master that system, right? And in order to master that system, we have to work the system. It's kind of difficult to train the system if you're not working the system, right? Even when you bring people into your business, if you're doing it any kind of way and how you want to do it, and that initial thing isn't the basics of the system, then you're not building a good blueprint or foundation for your team to grow on. And everybody needs to know, when you come into this, you're coming into it as an awkward situation. But if you do it long enough, it's going to become mechanical. And if you do it long enough, it's going to become natural or become a habit, right? And so I love, again, another quote he says, listen, when you face your fears, the death of fear is certain. I tell myself that every day.
Yes.
Every day now, as I begin to work in the corporate level, right? And start dealing with people, you know, Austin's, 8% Black. It just is what it is. And so most of the people that I'm going to talk to, we got, it is what it is. And I have to tell myself, that if I face my fears or whatever it is, then the death of fear is certain. I had to make up in my mind that whatever my shortcomings were, because everything is an excuse. When we look at the system and we look at any parts of the system that we feel uncomfortable with, right? That's everyone. Everyone has some part of the system that they're uncomfortable with. But I have to make up in my mind that, listen, these guys that we look at that's making $2 or $3 million and $200,000 or $300,000 a month, they work in the system. And so if I want to be successful like they're successful, I can't let my fears stop me. Right? I can't let my fears of whatever it is, whether it's calling somebody or whatever it is, I can't let that stop me. So I have to face my fears, right? And we know that, Philippians says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so I have to pray, I have to believe that God can strengthen me and help me through my fears. And then once I begin to master the system, then I will begin to get the results. It's the same thing when I teach with the Bible. If you follow biblical principles, you're going to get godly results, right? And what I'm finding out, this is the same way in this business. As I research, you look at, I sent y'all the tape of Art Williams, right? Look, man, that was 30 years ago. They doing the same thing today. The same people that have been successful in this business is doing this. It ain't nothing different, right? And so if I want to be an Art Williams, right? And my goal is my first goal is to outperform WFG. The LBRS is going to go get WFG. That's my goal, right? That we're going to be that big, we're going to grow that strong. Well, in order to do that, there are certain systems that we have to put in place, right? And one of the things that I learned is what we have to do, because, we're believers, right? We love everybody, right? You know what I mean? Most of us, we got apostles and pastors and deacons and everything on the team. So, we want to have that love. But this is the thing, though, and this is the kind of mindset that Donna and I talked about, that we got to start really focusing on, is that we got to start managing the system and not people.
That's right.
All right.
We've been managing people, right? And so what does that mean? That means managing people mean we set a system in place, we sit down with somebody on onboarding, we say, this is what is expected of you. We both sign off that this is what you're going to do for the next 6 weeks or so. But the first time they come and say, oh, my nail hurt, or you know what I mean? Whatever it is, I had to work late last night. We manage the people, right? And we say, oh, that's okay. We'll do it next week. Or we'll do it, a couple of weeks later, right? That's managing the person because we love them.
That's right.
But we have to start managing the system. We have to get to the point to say, no, we made an agreement, right? Do you really want to make money in this business?
That's right.
Yeah. Do you really want to do what we sat down and we agreed that you was going to do? Now I'm going to do my part. I'm going to give you 100% of that. I need 100% of your time too.
I'm holding
right?
accountability.
Accountability. And so that's kind of our mindset as far as, shifting what we do. And the bottom line is, those that don't want to, those that, just want to, we're going to love them the same. We're going to stop loving them. But in order for us to have our time, to spend our money, to spend our time, our resources, we need a commitment from the people as well.
That's right.
Right? And so we're going to start managing the system. So no matter who it is, we're going to develop a system to say, if you come on this team and you want a fast start and you want to be as successful as you say you want to be, then this is the system you have to follow. If you don't want to follow this system, we still, you're still an agent, we still love you, we still all of that, but you're just not going to get a lot of our resources at times. Does that make sense?
Yep.
It does.
Because we got to drive our business, we got to drive our people. And the bottom line is, the standard we set is the standard our business is going to have.
That's right.
Each one of you are individual business owners. You're going to be bringing people up under you. You're going to be building your agency. I believe all of us, all of you is going to get the RVP. And so in order to do that, you're going to be driving your business, right? And so we at LBRS is trying to set that type of standard to be able to do that, because we have to learn how to manage, how to manage our business. So saying that, we got some things coming up, guys, that we're going to have. And it's just kind of an FYI thing. We got some things coming up that is going to really benefit, I believe, everyone. Number one, we're starting a LBRS training school that is going to be twice a week. So the agents that you come on, when I'm talking about this accountability, we're going to be here to teach them, right? So that takes them from A to Z. That takes them from test teachers. We're teaching test teachers twice a week. They can come here. They can get into a classroom setting, right? Because let's face it, a lot of people are not self-taught.
That's right.
And a lot of people really struggle with taking that thing home, and you telling them, well, just study, and the kids are over here, and people are calling here, and they just don't get to it, right? And so we have to have that accountability to them to say, listen, we're going to give you a structure so that you can come in and do it. Now, the certified trainers, they're going to have 6 weeks of school of learning the test teachers. Then they're going to have another 6 weeks of field training, right? And that's where the certified trainers come in at, is that now we're going to take them through, and it's still structured. It's still a structured thing that we do, accountability thing. They're going to have checklists, milestones, all those type things, because we want to set them up to be successful. You know, our people cannot be successful if we're not successful. And one of the downfalls for me, one of the downfalls of me researching and looking at other business, and I look at, you know, Primerica, and I know some of you guys was agents with them. They got over 2 million agents right now, right? One of the things is they had a system sort of like that. You know what I mean? You could come in and you can come in on the weekends or Saturday and Sunday, you know, for 10 hours and get your testing stuff out the way, right? You had to do it, right. It was a requirement, yeah. And so when I look at the successful companies and see what they're doing, I believe we need to pick up some of those things as well, right? And so I want to develop that. Now, I was going to go a little bit further. Primerica primarily do it for them, for their agents, right? We're going to open up our school to the public. So we're going to be doing things with, we're connecting with TWC. We're connecting with a lot of the job fairs and things. So this is the way we're going to bring in recruits. So we believe that recruits is going to come in, and when the trainers come in and train, that you guys will be able to get recruits through the school. Okay. So we're going to be working with the Urban League. We got quite a few ideas. Donna's going to be on that over the next month or so. We're working with Social Security, right? Because a lot of people that is on SSI, they have a limited income. You know, they're able to work, but they can't work because if they make too much money, they're going to lose their benefits. Well, if they have a business, then most of that money they can write off, and they can still stay with under that threshold. So we're meeting with them to do that. So we're going to open it up, you know what I mean, to job fairs and all kind of things like that. And so that's going to be, right now, look like it's going to be every Monday and Thursday night, is that we're going to have that training. So that's just one of the things that we're doing to try to, you know, help bring that type of system and structure, right? And so, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely did. With double stars.
Oh, you didn't mention it to me.
Oh,
You
I'm
mentioned
sorry,
it,
Good to know, right?
Yeah. So, not telling you.
As a matter of fact, Bishop, and I both said yours was top-notch.
Yeah, you did. I was listening to it. You did a great
I
job.
used one of your little
One of the nuggets.
presentation the other day. I said, these insurance companies have been around so long until I believe we wrote a policy for Abraham Lincoln.
That's good.
So
That's good.
yes,
Yeah. Did you have a question, Donna?
I just want to bring the fact that these classes and what we're going to be doing as far as the university is going to actually come to see.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Well, as we roll it out, we'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it. All right. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the structures. Some of you guys will be contacted. If you don't get contacted, please do not be offended. But we are developing an advisory board for LBRS. We're praying about it. The people that's going to be on the board, if you're not selected, just don't. You know, it ain't no personal thing. Amen. There you go. Thank the Lord. But we're developing an advisory board to help us in these areas so we can get good direction and input from some of the agents. And so they just pray. I said, praise the Lord. I didn't get called. All right. So let's talk a little bit about smarting your goals, right? You know, everybody need to have goals, right? If you fail to plan, you're actually failing. You're planning to fail. And so in this business, we need goals, right? Because like I said, it's easy for us to get off track. It's easy for us to go through our daily things to get off track. And so it's hard for us to achieve our dreams if we don't have goals. So how do you smart your goals? Your goals have to be specific. I got a sheet that I'm going to pass around right now that I want you guys, and I'll show it to you guys on Zoom in just a moment as I finish this presentation. It is a 2017 goals. If you guys listen to my memo this week, you know what our goals are, the LBRS, right? Our goals is for 2017 is to make $300,000 in sales. That's our goal, right? Our goal is to bring on additional 60 agents.
Yeah.
We have 40 now. We want 100 by the end of the year. So
That's right.
our goals is kind of, but we got to set the bar, right?
Amen.
So we got to show you that if we can do it, you can do it,
That's right.
right? And so that's what we're doing. So our goals is very specific. The numbers that you see here in this presentation is a little bit different. I haven't had a chance to change those numbers yet, but I will note that our goals is $300,000 by the end of the year. Okay, so the sheet that I passed you about, first thing I want you to notice, look at is where you want to be at the end of the year. Depending on where you are now, and depending upon, I guess you guys can see this a little bit. There you go. So depending upon where you are now and where you want to be, whatever level you're at, give yourself a goal. You need to promote yourself, right? So give yourself a goal. We'll talk about looking at that, what that is going to mean for you to be able to do that. The next thing is the money. Money drives this business. Money is our focus, right? Because we in this, why? Because we want to make what?
Money.
We want to make money, right? We want to make money. We want to have financial freedom. And so money, and so you need to put how much money you want to make at the end of the year. And then you need to break that down on how much that's going to be a month, or how much you need to do it weekly. You need to have those goals because because everything else is going to surround your goals of how much money you want to make, right?
Yeah.
Those two things, as far as how many presentations you do, how many hours you put in a week, all of those things is going to be based upon those goals. So if you don't have any goal, then you can't really work the rest of your SMART goals. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so put that into your mind, whatever it is, take your time, figure that out, whatever your number is, put it there, whatever number of promotion you want, put it there. And then you got to, break it down to monthly sales, weekly sales. And then we're going to talk about your daily goals in just a moment. But you just got to have those goals. You got to be specific. You can't just say, I want to be financially free, right?
Yeah, because you got to figure out how
You don't even know what that
achieve
is. Most of us don't even have a budget to know what that is. We don't even know what our debt is. We ain't even looked at our assets and our liabilities. So what does debt free mean, right? And so whatever that is, you want to write that number down, and that's going to be your goal. And we're going to talk about how to build everything else around that. So the next thing is you got to make sure it's measurable, guys. You got to have some type of system to measure your goals, whether it's on a weekly basis or monthly basis, right? And so if your goal is, and this ain't something you can have in your head, this is something you need to have a pad that you can write down on, that if you said that $10,000 a month is example of what you want to make a month, at the end of that month, you need to be able to evaluate what you made, right? And because then and then only can you evaluate what you need to do different next month, or what you need to do extra next month. Maybe you're seeing 3 people a week or talking to 3 people a day, but that didn't meet your goals. So you may need to bump it up to 4 or 5, right? But they give me an example that lets you know where you are, right? Because you really don't know where you're going until you understand where you are. Make the goals attainable, right? They got to be attainable. Can you do 5 invites a day, right? Whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's personal phone calls, whether it's knocking on doors. I'm come to the point, I was talking to Justin the other day, and I'm getting to the point now to where I'm going to talk to a certain amount of people a day. I don't care. If I'm riding home and I have not met that, I'm walking into McDonald's, I'm going somewhere to talk to somebody about living benefits.
That's right.
And invite somebody to it, because one of the things that we learned in Dallas, people are everywhere.
That's right.
One of the things in this business, you would never run out of people. They are everywhere, even if it's just going to the park. You can go places to where people are not in a hurry. They're relaxing and taking their time. But we got to be in that mindset, right? Because this is our business we're driving. This is our goals we want to reach. And it's not predicated upon anybody else. This is our personal goals. And so whatever those goals are, make sure it's attainable. Don't say I'm going to talk to 20 people a day and you work 10 hours a day, right? That probably won't happen, right? So make sure it's attainable, all right? Even when you're thinking about, when you're thinking about your yearly goals, right? The yearly goals, what you want to make by the end of the year. The reason why I was able to put that number out there is because of the things that we're doing underneath, the things that we're setting up. I believe the LBRS training school is going to be successful. I believe we're going to bring in 30 or 40 new agents just through the school, right? Then I'm looking at all the training dollars that create, right? We're starting a new division that we're working with. Is it called a corporate division, right? We already have the system to go into your natural market, right? We know that training. We know how to get referrals. We know how to reach out to our natural market. I'm gonna build the system to help you reach corporate, right? How do you contact corporate? Who do you contact? HR, what do you need to do? What are the steps to get into the talk to the people that really make the decision, right? Those are the type of things that I'm gonna be working on over the next several months. And so with that, we're gonna have we have two measurable things that we can do that we got coming up. That's the reason why I can save $300,000 by the end of the year, right? Because I'm setting systems in place to make that attainable. You have to do the same thing, whether it's 50,000, whatever it is. You got to think of systems that you can put in place to make that attainable, right? And it has to be something that you can actually reach, something that you can actually do. I know Dawn and I are full-time, so we can do a little bit more. And I know most of you guys are part-time in your own business because you already have a full-time job. So you got to think about that as well. And think about what are you able to sacrifice, right? Because this is the thing about this business I love about this business. If you sacrifice for a season, it would pay you for the rest of your life.
That's right.
So it is a season of your life that you may not be able to do everything you want to do. And this is for a season of your life that you may have to sacrifice your salary. It's a season of your life that you may have to say, you know what, I need to start working 10 hours extra this. It's just for a season. You do that for 18 to 24 months, you would position yourself and your business to take care of you for a long time.
That's right.
Right. And so that's the type of sacrifice that we need to think about when we're dealing with our goals. What are you able to sacrifice? Because if you keep everything the same and there's no sacrificing, then you can really treat this like a hobby.
That's right.
And it's gonna pay you like a hobby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I got a lot of Steve one-liners. I remembered a lot of them. He the one-liner king, and I'm picking them up as I go. But that's a true statement, though. You know what I mean? And so this is the opportunity, guys. We are in business for ourselves. We haven't even got with the business development that we're going to do at the end of the summer. Business develop to teach you how to get the tax breaks, to teach you how to structure your business so that you can take advantage, making sure you're saving receipts, making sure you're getting your mileage, making sure you're getting all of your payouts now. So we're going to have a training on that as well, right? Because you guys are business owners.
Yeah.
And so you might as well take full advantage of the tax code. But getting back to this, make sure it's attainable. I think I just hit the next one. Make sure it's realistic, right? That's what I was saying, making sure what you're doing is realistic and making sure you have the time to do it. Give yourself deadlines. You know, our first deadline is 2017, right? It's at the end, when that clock turned over to 2018, that's our deadline. December the 31st is our yearly deadline. We also set other deadlines, right? Donna and I is already challenging each other on how many presentations we're gonna do, you know what I mean? And things like that. We're challenging each other. We're gonna start making up, coming shortly, probably around August and September, we're gonna come up with an award system to start awarding people, right, for their successes that they do within the business, right? And then be looking forward in the fall as well. We're trying to get Steve Litter and Bloom here, like they do their conference there. We're gonna do one in Austin, right? Austin should have a conference, right? Right. We have enough people. We're doing good things here, so those guys should come here. We shouldn't have to be flying and running everywhere to get that type of training, right? And so we're working on that already to have a fall conference so that we can get a hotel and we charge $40 and all that and let them come into Austin and see what Austin is doing, right? So that's some of the things that we're doing that we have on the plate to help us out. But listen, we have to smart our goals, guys. You have to take this sheet, write it down, because it is vitally important that you do this. If you don't do it, you know, and you know, Habakkuk says, write the vision, right?
That's right.
You know, he didn't say think about it. He didn't say dream about it, right? He said what? He said write the vision, right? And so, you know what I mean? I know we got our smartphones and we got our tablets and we got all those things. Jesus, he didn't have that in mind when he talked about that vision. He says you need to write the vision, right? Make it plain, right? For when your team read it, they will be able to run with it. They'll be able to duplicate it. They'll be able to do what you're doing because you're doing it by example, right? And so this is the process that we have to get into. We have to begin to do it. We're serious about driving our business. We have to get into this and we have to start smarting our goals. Now the next thing is, let's talk about a little bit on how to do that, right? So you have to break this thing down to a daily and weekly activity. So we talked about what our goals is going to be. You should have your goals down, what you want to make for the rest of the year. Then you want to break that down to a monthly, right? What is that going to look like monthly? What is that going to look like weekly? And then on a weekly level, you need to break that down to a daily activity, right? And so I'm going to give you a pointer right here that I learned this week, and it's pretty awesome. And well, we'll get to it in just a minute. Someone just came on, it's not muted. Let me see if I can mute everybody.
I don't know how to answer that question.
Deadlines, give yourself a deadline. So say for instance, like you say, I am going to make $3,000 by the end of the month. By May 31st. That's your deadline.
No, I do. I haven't did it in a while.
Yeah, it'll be a deadline. Yeah, set deadlines, because that way, if you don't have those deadlines, hold on a second. Look like everybody's muted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do that for the same days.
Oh, I got it. I found it. Okay, so yeah, that's what the deadline is on the time. You want to make sure you have a time frame from each goal. Don't just set a goal out there and just let it be whenever, right? You need to have a time that you set out to say, listen, I'm going to accomplish this by this time. I'm going to accomplish this by this time. Because if you start getting close to the deadline, and you know, like you do on your job or you in school, right? You know how you do, you know, procrastinated the whole week. You know what I mean? That paper is due, right? And you know you got a deadline. What happened? Those last couple of days, you cramming, you hitting it, you doing whatever you got to do to make sure that paper going. We need to treat the business the same way. This is our business. It's nothing more important than our success, right? And so we have those deadlines on our jobs. We have them when we go to school. We have those, and we do what we got to do. Hey, man, I can't make it tonight. I got this paper coming up. You know what I mean? I got to give you a rain check on this, man. I got, my job. I got to have this deadline in. Well, it should be the same with us. If you run it up on the deadline of your business, then there's some pleasurable things you just can't do. You know what I mean? There's some things you just can't go to. You know what I mean? So we have to treat it that way. So that's what that means, is the deadline. So whatever your framework is, guys, this is a kind of a researched principle that can get you started in your business. And this is what Bloom taught us when we went to Cedar Park. That if you talk to 3 people a day, talk to them about the opportunity, the business, the product, you're probably going to do somewhere around 5 presentations a week. That's, talking to 3 people a day is 15, 18 people you're talking to. Out of that, you're probably going to get a chance to really sit down with 5 of them, right? And then you'll probably average about 1 to 2 sales a week off those numbers. Right. And so the key is doing that thing. Now, this is the thing, guys. This is the thing that I'm learning about this business, and I know many of you can attest to. You cannot get frustrated when people cancel on you. Come on now, listen right. Now. You cannot get frustrated, right?
You're right about that.
Yeah, you shouldn't. There you go. Because this is the thing. This is the thing.
Right.
If you guys listen to that Art Williams recording, one of the things he said was, when you're prospecting someone, you got to count on 10 hours. And it's not at one time. You know what I mean? For that one person. Okay. Because you got to do your soft approach, and then you got to, you got to talk to them again, and you got to set up this meeting, and maybe the first meeting they look at, well, let me get some information, let me go home to give it to my wife or my husband, let them see it. We can't get frustrated in that process, right? And so we have to understand that these talking to 2 to 3 people a day and 5 presentations a week, sometimes the presentation I'm gonna do next week is people I talked to a month ago. You know what I mean? I just did a follow-up with them, and they like, yeah, I got time this week. You know what I mean? But if you do this over a period of time, everything is gonna begin to run, and it's gonna begin to catch up, right? And so the people that you talked to, 2 or 3 weeks ago, you probably just get an appointment this week. But if you've been doing that for a month or so, guess what? Now it's happening every week, right? And so we can't get discouraged when people cancel on us, because sometimes that's a discouraging thing. You all excited, man, you getting ready to, I'm finna nail it, I'm finna, you know what I mean? And then they say, And sometimes they don't even call, right? You know, they text you 5 minutes before the meeting. You know, sorry, I can't make it. We can't get frustrated with that, guys, and we just continue to work the system. However you do it, social media, however you do it, inbox people, get a conversation about our product and about our business. Set a goal to say, I'm going to do 3 a day, right? Whether it's 1 in the morning, 1 at lunchtime, and 1 at dinner, right? Every day I'm going to talk, whether it's the waitress that's bringing me my, you know, when she come down with that receipt, just slow it down for a minute. She don't wait for that money. Because she gonna want to see what kind of tip you're gonna get. Let's slow it down for a minute and talk to her about some living benefits. You know what I mean? As we do this in our everyday life, we're beginning to see 3 people. It's not really a whole lot. Yes.
I want to say this. We all have a daily life and activity that we do all the time. An example, mine is I go get my hair done. So.
Every day?
No. But here's what I'm going to say. See, Bishop, you're wrong. But this is what I want to say. These are activities. One of the things that I tell even the people that I work with is get your business cards, because sometimes your business cards will speak for you when you cannot. I go into there and I'm there with the ladies and I'm talking, and when I get ready to leave, I'm giving out my business cards. I'm giving them out. I'm saying, hey, living benefits. What is living benefits? Glad you asked. Life insurance you don't have to die to use. I just set up 2 appointments, constantly giving those out. So sometimes the same woman that was sitting there, but it does more. When I went home, she said, I got on your website. I said, you know what? I'm interested in this. Sometimes we don't have to put too much energy in it. Get that card out there, say a few words, and move on.
Move on.
You will be surprised how many of those will come back to you. But you've got to get your business cards, because sometimes it does more for you than you can do in 15 minutes.
That's right. That's right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Because, you know, whatever way that you market, you have to be consistent with it. You know, the thing, the thing about marketing, guys, sometimes it's not a high return. Yeah, just pass 2 out there. Just pass 2 of them out. But whatever you do, whatever form you're doing, the thing that get us discouraged is that we look for immediate return.
That's right.
And a lot of times in marketing is not immediate return. Do you know how many times that TV commercial have to air before you catch?
8 to 9 times.
Yeah, before you catch the punchline or whatever it is they selling. You done seen that dog on that commercial and you didn't pay no attention to it. And all of a sudden, one time you look and you say, oh, that's what that meant, right? That's the process of marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So you give somebody a card one time and mention living benefits, it don't click, right? But it may be the next time or the next time or the next time, right? And so that's what we have to get into our mindset.
Or
That's
something
just
happens in their immediate circle where that triggers, and when they see your stuff again, they'll be like, oh yeah, I need to talk to that person.
Yeah.
Because somebody in their family may have had a heart attack, stroke, something like that, and be like, I need to talk to them and see what this is about.
that's right.
Because you've already been playing
Right.
putting the
So
seeds
what-
out there.
So whatever your form is, guys, we are a very young company, right? We've only been here 7 months. So some of you came on after that. We are a very young company. The works that we're doing now may not turn for another 2 or 3 months. But to have to be methodical about what you're doing, whatever method God laid on your heart to reach people, do not get discouraged because you're not getting the return now, right? Continue, yeah, do you add other stuff? Do you try other things? But keep doing what you've been doing, right? And sooner or later, it's gonna catch a return. Business is usually plateaued, right? They say it take 3 to 5 years for a business to really become successful and make it, right? One of the things that they do is during that 3 to 5 years, they're sowing seeds. They're doing radio. They are door hanging. They are doing different things.
That's right.
At some point, when that business begin to take off, is when all those things start working together,
Right.
right? And that triggers something, and it causes that business to begin. We're the same way. You know, whatever way we're doing it, let's just be methodical about it. Let's keep doing it. Let's keep pushing. So we want to do, you know, sales a week. We got to talk to people. We're in the network marketing business, so you can't do it if you're not networking, right? Down and out and start going to network meetings, right?
Like
You look
events.
up around,
Very good.
yeah, like meetings. There's a tons of business meetings around this city.
Yeah.
Small business.
You know, small business meetings and things like that. Start going there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We went to one. We really learned a lot at
We
that
did.
business. Made some great connections.
They actually took the time to talk about us, about our business.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we asked them a question. It took like 20 minutes
Yes, they did.
talking about our business, giving us pointers on how we can move things forward on a corporate level, and gave us some great pointers. I'm gonna be putting into action pretty soon. Very good stuff. But that's just one of the ways you can do it. Start going to networking businesses, because that's what they're there for. Their whole purpose is for you to showcase your business.
What was it?
Right.
Network business meeting?
Yeah.
Network business. You could go there. They're all over. They're on
Go on to
Facebook. They on Google Meetup
So
meetings.
meet up.
Go on to meetup.
Is it
groups in Austin,
meetup
Texas.
groups in Austin,
Austin,
Texas?
Texas.
Okay.
Meetup groups in Dallas. Meetup groups wherever you are. It's a ton of them. They going on all the time. Actually, we got one coming up on Friday, right?
Yeah, one coming up Thursday,
Thursday.
17th.
I thought it was Friday. I thought that was that Friday meeting.
We're talking.
Yeah, we're talking. I'm gonna be in Black Men in Business on Thursday.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, because I'm doing Black Men in
Okay,
Business
I'm
on Thursday. So you can do that.
myself.
You can do
Okay.
that group. Yeah. But that's just one of the ways. Just get yourself out there, guys. Meet people. That's what we do. We do network marketing. We network, right? So
What do you call people who catch counterfeit? What do you call the people who catch counterfeit?
who do you call?
No, what do you call them?
Auditors.
That catch the counterfeiters.
Yeah, like, you know, we have counterfeiters, there's a professional thing for people who catch counterfeit.
FBI, all I thought about.
Yeah, no, but there's a special section.
I don't know. Yeah.
Auditor? Well, that's what I would.
I can't
I don't know.
I
Okay. All right, guys. So let's wrap up this section.
Exactly what you said.
This is something I think is very important, guys, that you guys need to do. It's something I started to do. As I talked about setting up your days, working towards your monthly goals, weekly goals, take it down into bite steps, something that's attainable, right? And so one of the things you need to do is, first of all, you need to set your working hours. You got to set your working hours, right? Regardless of yeah.
I mean, I'm hearing you talk, but I know you're full-time, but I'm wondering people who are part-time.
Right. I'm gonna break it down for that too. Yeah.
I'm trying to fit what you're saying into, like,
Right.
into your world.
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing. Like I say, but this is the thing,
our
though.
schedule is different, like when you have children.
Right.
you have
Right.
Other work, we have.
So
I mean, people
on
after me,
activity.
just as an example, my day is pretty much, I'm an 8 to 5, right?
Right.
Touch. I'll be in my car at my supposed lunch hour. That's what I use it for. And I'm either texting, sending out messages, or making phone calls. Yeah. And then in the evening time, I mean, I don't have any kids. So my time is pretty much my time, unless someone calls and they need something.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I try to segment an hour, 7 to, what did I say earlier, 7 to 9, because I don't want to reach out to anybody after 9 o'clock. It may not be every day, but I'll at least try to do it 3 times a week.
So you said those.
right. So that was
Good
actually I'm gonna answer the
Yeah.
question in this segment, because you have to set your own hours, right? That's the beauty about this business. You get to set your own hours. So you look at your schedule and figure out when can you do it. As I said, LLG, what they do is a power hour every day. So every day they just take an hour and they work their business for an hour, and that hour is dedicated to working the business. Whether it's a presentation, whether it's a phone call, whether it's going over your prospect list, whatever it is, you know what I mean? So that's for the part-timers. If you can just carve out an hour a day that you can just do laser focus on your business, make the calls, do what you need to do. I think that even if you can't do an hour, do 30 minutes. Say, look, I'm gonna sit down in 30 minutes a day, or like what Sarita was saying, it may not be every day. You know what I mean? I may have a hard day at work on Monday. I may have deadlines and stuff I got to meet on Friday. So Monday and Fridays, I don't work, but you have to set your own hours. And this is the key, guys. The reason why I'm saying you have to set your hours, this is your business, right? When your business is open, it's open. Do you understand that concept? You know, because most of the time we get into the mindset when we own our own business, whether it's part-time or full-time, we just kind of, you know, man, I don't feel like getting up right now. You know what I mean? I know I'm supposed to go open the shop, but you know what I mean? I'd rather watch Empire or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And we make excuses, but you got to look at this before saying, listen, these are my hours. I am open during these times, and whatever it is, say, hey, do you want to know? I got to go to work, man. These are, you know, where you working at? Yeah, I got my own business. I got to, you know, this from this time to this time, I got to be laser focused. If it's the kids, I want to go do this, I want to do that. You have to set, and you know your life.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You know your life. You know, whether it's the kids or whatever you got going on, however many hours, whatever that is, but you have to write that down too.
Right.
Right. So I'm you know, showing you how to do a business plan for your business, because we have to look at it like a business, and your business need hours.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Another suggestion I was going to give, you know how people are going on these social media platforms now and basically opening the floor to questions or concerns, and they can type in their question to you, and you can answer questions about life insurance or whatever they're inquiring about. And then if it gets too in depth, you know, you can take that offline with that person. But you can kind of set the stage to say, I'm going to be available from, let's say, 7 to 7:30.
Right.
And see how many people you can get on. I haven't actually done it yet. I just thought of this, but I thought it'd be good to
That's
share.
good. Yeah. Financial blogs is real good. Stuff like that. It's really good.
Yeah, because you can talk about it. You may say it's one aspect of the business. I'm going to talk about term insurance this right now, and people who may not be familiar with terms. I get a lot of people saying, what's going to my money after it ends? And I'm like, well, you know, and that's when you start to educate people. So it could be an hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes.
Just doing an education period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're right. And then even, you know, furthermore, when you set your business hours, you know, the next level is you can set your business activities that you're going to be doing to that hour. So say, for instance, like if you have, you know, if you got different things, you know, this business, we got back office stuff we got to do, right? Yeah. We have, you know, dealing with those underwriters, praise God, you know, you know, that's a whole nother thing right there.
Emailing you what you want.
You know what I mean? That's part of our business. You know what I mean? And so whatever it is, so what I've done, even took that a step further. I have certain days I focus on certain things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like my Mondays, that's admin. So I'm not trying to, you know, whatever my Monday's day is, I ain't trying to do a whole lot of presentation stuff, because I got a team I got to manage. I got things I got to, you know, things I got to do in the back office. So that's my Monday, right? Because my weekend numbers. Tuesday, I got certain things I do in certain. So every day in the midst of, you know, whatever hours I've carved out, some days is just specific to certain things, you know. So if you're doing like that social media platform, your day could be Thursday.
Yeah.
Let's say, hey guys, every Thursday I'm here for you, you know, 7 to 9. We're gonna open up this discussion. You know what I mean? So it ain't I can't afford to do it every day. But whatever my business hours are, whatever they are, that's what I'm gonna focus on. Does that make sense? And so we have to set our work hours, guys. No matter where you are, no matter what level you are, you have to set your work hours. I don't care if it's 1 hour a week. You know, you need to set your work hours, and you need to be accountable. And I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this because it's the truth. So don't throw no stones at me. Don't start waving your hand on Zoom. One of the biggest problems with black folk in their business is they're not open when they're supposed to be open.
All right.
And they're not there when they're supposed to be there. I'm just gonna leave it out there. I'm gonna leave that out there. We're not gonna be that way.
No.
Right? You know what I mean? You know, always late for appointments. You know what I mean? All right, okay. That's your business hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's your business hours. You can't be, if you don't care enough about your product to get here on time and show me about it, then why should I be concerned about it? Right? Okay. All right. That's my soapbox. Let me get off. All right. Work your to-do list. Right. So I'm gonna go down to I'm gonna go down to number 4 right quick, guys. Organize your thoughts for the next day. I'm gonna kick that and I'm gonna go back up, right? So the reason why I want to say this, listen, I learned this lesson. I was learning about some things this week, and it is pretty powerful, right? So at the end of each day, at the end of each work day, or at the end of each work hour, or whatever it is, give yourself 10 or 15 minutes to unscramble your thoughts for the next day. Don't wait till the next day to try to figure out what you're going to do that day. Or don't wait till the next time you're open to figure out what you're going to do that day. Let that be the end of the day. End of the day, you should depress. You should, all the people I contact, okay, what do I need to do tomorrow? I need to call and follow up with John. I need to, you know, set an appointment, whatever it is. Just sit there and just unscramble it, man. Just don't try to, you know, at first just write it down. Get you a pad that you just write it down, right? That's the first 5 minutes. Just going through, write it down. Who you need to call, what you need to do, you know, send out an NIA form, whatever it is. You just write it down, right? So for the next 10 minutes, prioritize it. to the things you need to do that day or to the things that need to be accomplished that week, right? So now you write this down. I want to encourage you guys to get you a legal pad, right? Write this down. Wherever your business is, wherever your workspace is, before you leave that day, put that on your desk or on your workspace. The thing, so the first thing you do when you go back to work, the first thing you see, you don't open your computer, you don't ask, the first thing you see is that list. And you start working that list before you move on to anything else. It will really help you organize your day. I'm telling you, I've been doing it, and it's powerful. Because most of the time what we do is, when we go back to work, from the day before, we got things in our head, we got things in our phone, and we go to sleep, and we got thoughts, and we wake up the next day and we come in, and it just take us a minute to kind of unscramble all that. So we're not coming in the next day or the next hour or the next, like say tomorrow's power hour, right? If you're doing a power hour every day, right? At the end of this power hour, write down, man, who you call, who I need to do, what do I want to accomplish tomorrow? Get that already written down. So you're not wasting time trying to unscramble that. You know what I mean? You come in there and you already know, bam, 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 bam. I'm just hitting it. So that's just another, organize your day before the next day. That is so important. So important, right? And then when you get in, when your hours start, work your to-do list. That's the first thing you do. That's it. That's the first thing you do. You don't do anything else in that power hour. You don't do anything else in that day until you've worked your list, right? And the key thing, guys, in this business, follow up.
I try to go look at my wife. It doesn't make it less prioritize.
Prioritize it. Have stars and color charts.
Wake up the next day, think about it. For some reason.
It just don't work that way.
Well, don't quit.
Yeah, don't quit, right? Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Yeah, but the key thing, guys, in closing of this session, guys, is follow up. The thing that the to-do list would do for you that day is it would give you the guidelines to follow up.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many appointments, how many people I meant to call because I didn't write it down. How many people I meant to follow up with. I got people now that I was even thinking about this, and I'm gonna start writing them down. I had to put them on a week list because I had so many of them. Because every day you're moving.
That's right.
And you forget to call. You tell somebody, yeah, man, I'll call you. I'll get with you. And then before you know it, you got so many stuff coming around. And they like, I thought you were going to call me.
But what's
You know
helpful
what I mean?
with that, when you're talking to them, put it in your phone and it'll almost give you a reminder. So you don't necessarily have to commit it to memory or write it on a piece of paper. If you can put it on your phone or talk to your phone. I mean, I believe all of us got the Google app, so you got Google Calendar.
Yeah.
So I put everything on there, and then you can actually create a separate distribution list to all your partners and everything, so they know what's going on.
Yeah.
You're a
I
millennial.
love my partner.
Yeah, she's a millennial. Yeah. She's a millennial. Well, she on the edge. She
I'm
the
on the
time
edge.
on
I'm
the
43.
edge.
I can tell the way you talk.
Yeah, it's like,
You sound like my kids.
Yeah.
Take a picture of yourself and say, put your thing up.
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, but we hold our
But-
phones.
Millennial.
I mean, we keep our phones with us really 24/7.
But you're-
I'm just
but-
saying, yeah.
But
I
above
know,
that,
I
though,
know.
I understand that.
So
But
my daddy
above
just not
that,
getting the text, and he sent 10
Right.
gold.
but my suggestion is,
Yeah.
listen, guys, my suggestion is, even if you are millennial and you like doing that, at the end of the day, take out your phone, look at the appointments you have the next day, and write it down.
Write it down.
There you go.
Keep secrets.
Right?
from
That's
your
So
right.
even if you're doing it that way, even if you are doing it that way, take out your phone and write it down. Because it's something about writing.
Oh, the
It's something about writing that kind of,
Big bump.
give it just a little bit more, right? And so even if you're doing that, even if you're doing the smartphone, if you're doing those things,
You're not moving.
still, I want to encourage you, get your tablet.
We need him at, come over here.
Come on at the table. Come on at the table, Justin.
He was already sitting down.
So
No trouble.
I want to encourage you guys to do that, guys, because follow-up is very important in our business.
Yeah.
Particularly when you come to, and sometimes the follow-up is just going up, remember to ask for referrals. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just as simple as remember to ask for referrals, calling somebody up and say, hey, and if we don't get a system to where we're doing that, we're leaving money on the table and we're leaving people out there unprotected. Because we're simply not getting back to it, huh?
A checklist kind of either mentally or on your whatever pad you're writing on. You know, you said this, you said that, and you know, keep referral on the part of that checklist.
Oh yeah,
too.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Keep it. And so guys, those are the keys to success.
Can we possibly put that at the end of our presentation? Remember to get or something.
Or just referrals, just the word.
Yeah, referrals. That
We
might
can.
help. I mean, 'cause
They won't know what
think-
you're talking. They won't.
Let's say, what is that?
What is that referral? I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, since it's
Yeah.
so important, maybe.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you asked.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have these pens up here.
And actually, we have we're gonna have a referral sheet for you next week that we have for you that can actually get a little bit more organized. 'Cause I think one of the things that hurt us right now with referrals is we say you give a referral, we just pile off anything and put it in front of them. You know what I mean? It's nothing organized the way they can sit down and really think about the names and write down the addresses. So we're gonna work on a referral sheet. Any questions or comments about anything we talked about or taught today?
Good stuff all the way around.
Yes, thank you.
Good. Glad to see you guys. So many of you.
I had a thought.
Yes.
Well, actually, a thought and it's a statement. All of us know how tough it is to recruit someone.
Yeah.
Right?
So you recruited me.
Would have took a nice dinner, right? It was a nice dinner,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Let us feed you first. Let us feed you first.
That's what it is.
Maybe food is the secret. Let me write that food down.
It always helps. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that is so precious that we need to remember. And I want to say this even to our Dallas team, San Antonio, Corpus. When you recruit someone, the most dangerous thing to do is to set them and leave them idle because you lose them. You have to immediately, after you recruit, begin to get to work with them. I mean, it's hard enough to recruit them. It's hard enough having them become a member. And then you take a couple of days and you lose them? Absolutely not. Jump on it. That's a new expression. Jump on it.
That's a song. And that's a song.
Yeah.
Jump on
Jump
it. Jump on it.
You gotta get them excited and get them to work. But if you leave them out there, I promise you, you will lose them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the purpose of our training programs to help us get more. And we're going to focus on that a little bit more this week too. Make sure we get assigned the people. We already got the people assigned, but just kind of be a little bit more methodical as far as making sure that we're doing those follow-ups, even with our trainees. So that's important. Yeah, yeah. Anybody else have any sauce they want to add on to this meal today?
No, thank you for putting this together.
Good, man. Well, I'm excited, guys. I'm telling you, I know we're gonna reach our $300,000 in Houston in January. Don and I both gonna be walking across that stage, getting our
All right
ESPs.
now. Hey.
I'm telling you, we're gonna be walking across that stage, getting our ESPs. We're gonna make it happen. Right? So,
Absolutely.
there's no excuses now. I need money. She need money. You need money. You need money. We all need money.
Thank you for trying to help me.
Remember, January we go back to Houston again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be what's it? League, something league.
League City.
League City.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. It was
So-
really good.
This product is only available in the US, right?
That's right.
If it wasn't, me and Bishop would be traveling with you guys to Africa.
That's why you changed your plan.
Wasn't no fruit over there.
I ain't going to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ.
I'm going for some EAPs. If they ain't no EAPs there, I ain't going.
I got you now. I was giving you a life.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, guys. How many of you are going to try to make it to Vegas? Just done. Okay. So we're kind of excited about that. Again, coming up, we're going to have our own training expo here. coming up in the fall. But I will be getting with you guys on as we continue to roll out some of the different ways to reach the business markets. Right now, we're developing a system. Tom taught me a system that I'm working on now to go after to partner with mortgage brokers. So that's kind of one of our first steps of doing that. Justin is working on barbershops to be able to partner with barbershops. I think we got one now that we're talking with and let us. Justin gonna cook though, so that's that food thing.
All right, now.
But they're gonna let us sit outside the barbershop and set up a table, have some food out there, and for the people that's waiting on their turn to get a haircut, they can come out and sit down and talk with us. So we're doing that, and so we'll be doing that. We're doing it with this barbershop, but I say that to say is that if you're interested in doing some things like that, let me know, because we're not only just doing it for us, we're doing it for the team. So we're going to be out soliciting barbershops, and so if we get somebody to come up, we may have to call and say, hey, Judy, can you be available on Saturdays to go and work with this barbershop? Can you go and you know what I mean? So we have that available for you, so you'll be able to do stuff like that. So that's the kind of stuff we're working on is for the team. For somebody that desires to go full time, our mortgage broker pursuit is a good opportunity for people that want to come off their jobs and do it full time. Most mortgage brokers do anywhere between 18 and 25 loan apps a month. Over half of them get life insurance on their properties.
Yeah.
And so they're already using somebody now, but again, our biggest niche is not only if you die, if you get sick,
right.
you can pay off your home,
Yeah.
right? And so we're partnering with them. So if you're looking for that type of partnership to make that type of shift, we have that available. We're going to have that available. So that's the kind of stuff I'm going to be working on from the corporate level. Is trying to get us into these corporate things. We're working on Pastor JD is his team is working on a school district, entire school district, to offer them the full 3B index annuity products, and that's looking real good. That's going to be a game changer for that team. Yeah, that's going to be a huge game changer. Yeah, I think they service like 175 schools, so that's a big game changer. So, and so yeah. It always flows up. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean. But that's the kind of stuff we're working on. So we may need some help. You know what I mean. That may be another opportunity to say, hey guys, can somebody take a week off and come down here and help us run these policies and do this, and you know what I mean. You get paid for it. Well, where it's working out now on that end, the way it's working out, LSW looking like they're gonna take care of that for us. So we're not sure yet. So we're just working out the details. Yeah, LSW. They offered the full 3B. Anaco didn't offer the full, right? But LSW did. So we're working with that. So we're working on just things like that. You know, those things take a little bit longer. They're a little bit more methodical. But you start putting those fishing hooks in the out there. You know, Tom, just to give you an example, and we'll sign off with this. Tom, you know, I was up, right? Where I got the idea from was from him, because we went to Dallas. Right, he pulled me out and said, man, I've been working on this deal this week. I got this mortgage broker deal where I went in a partnership. And I'm like, oh, yeah. He said, Bishop, I'm telling you, they got 27 offices nationwide.
Which one is the one?
All right, thank you.
Which one's the one?
Right. The one to the right is to go to the center.
One to the right is the one to the left. Let me catch you.
Yeah, but that's that's some of the things we're doing, guys, to help grow this team, to help get us a good footprint into the industry. So I'm pretty excited about that. Go ahead.
One more thing. Definitely, guys, I want to tell you, get out there, Google Meetup in Austin.
Meet up in Dallas, or meet up wherever you are.
They have hundreds and hundreds of specialized meetups that you can get with people. I was even thinking about Googling one to do for barbershop, because you can get out there and you can network with some of these people, and they're so eager and share their experience and different things we do. And I think
That's right.
Bishop just met a broker that we're talking
I
with.
met with him yesterday. Sure did. So those are kind of things, guys, that we're looking forward to being able to do and develop so we can grow and be strong and reach our financial goals. Are there any other questions, any other comments, anything anybody would like to share?
Talking about dealing with the one issues, you know, people with the 30-year mortgage and policies, covering the properties and all that. Well, basically, that's what we tell them. You know, I started implementing that in my presentations or my conversations. So basically, you die too soon, you got you covered. You live too long,
We got you covered.
you get sick.
Get sick along the way, we got you covered.
They can't. Where they gonna go? You got them. You
Got it from the end.
Where they can go?
That's true. That's true. So guys online, I'm going to email you guys this goal sheet. If you can, take out the time to fill it out to set your personal goals. And I'm gonna have this. I recorded this session today, so I have that available as well. If you want to listen to the session, listen. Next week, guys, I think it's going to be a very important meeting because it's going to help us learn a little bit more about the business. One thing I'm learning is that the more you can't take everything at one time.
Right.
So as long as you go, you got so many things that's happening. I think we're ready for the annuity training now. That's going to help us reach a whole nother market of people. So Herman is going to be here next week doing the annuity training. So I definitely want to invite you guys to do that because that's for the older generation, people that, you know, really need that have money that they got set aside that we can really show them how to make that money work for them. So particularly those that they don't qualify. Now, this is the thing though, think about it. A lot of times people that don't qualify for IUL because of their health, a lot of times we just kind of say we can't help them. That's not true. Index annuities can help them and they don't need life insurance to qualify. And we don't even need a security license to sell it. Why? Because it's still on insurance.
But you do need an annuity license, don't you?
No.
Yeah, they
offer it, but you don't have to have it. Yeah.
Yeah, go to the training.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually training now on Amazon.
On annuities?
Online?
Okay.
Because I have to get
Just like I had to do my anti-money laundering training.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm doing my annuity.
All right,
Okay.
that's good. That's
Okay.
good.
Well, that
Yeah, I
means-
haven't done it
that
yet, so
means
that's
you
the
could-
question.
That means you could write one right now because you have security.
an annuity.
And annuities, yeah.
Wow.
The index, you would have to get.
You don't have to get
It was
security.
a goal
Exactly.
training, yeah.
Yeah, but not the one, not the smart people. You can- I know it.
That's why I was writing the smart goals down.
Yeah, yeah. So those are the type of things we're learning along the way, you know. And so next week, if you have any questions about annuities, Herman is going to be here, and he's going to teach us about annuities next week.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
I just had a question.
Yes.
Earlier when you were talking about the getting stuff like for HR, more of the corporate stuff, when are you gonna have something?
I'm working on that as we speak. So I would say, give me about a month to get my feet wet and get out there and do some trial and errors and see what works and what don't work. So I'll be the guinea pig on that. So.
Are you willing to go with people or some of those?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
See.
We wouldn't do everything for a percentage. You know, hey, we gotta do like our mentor, you know. We gotta follow the system. We gotta follow the system.
Are you available to help anyone after this meeting?
I am.
Are you available to help me?
And I guess well, she's first. She got me first.
Oh, she's good. She's younger than I.
You
She
know,
looks better than I do.
Yeah, yeah. She got a little time. She got a little time.
My time is.
All right, guys. Thank you, Shelly. Thank you, HB, Danielle, Jasmine. And I know JD logged off. Somebody had their hand raised. I think it was Shelly. My bad, Shelly. I didn't see you. Go ahead with your question.
I just want, good morning, everyone, first and foremost. But I just wanted to find out what time were we going to start the session so the people that were interested in the product could view our product today.
Which session? Talking about the presentation?
Yes.
We normally start at 11:15. We're gonna probably push that back to 12 o'clock next week.
Okay, so we're not doing that Saturday?
I can do it. Do you have someone that want to do a presentation? I can have. We got nothing but agents here, so and
Okay.
trainers. So do you need somebody that need to have a presentation done?
Let me send you a text message because I have received the message myself. I'm going to send you a message regarding that, please.
Very good. Okay. All right.
All right, thank you.
All right. Anyone else? All right. Very good, guys. This concludes this meeting today. Y'all have a blessed weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. May you be blessed tomorrow and get pampered. Get pampered.
Call your mama.
Yeah. And call your mom.
Call your mama.
What is she should call?
She shouldn't call you. You better call your mom.
Say that ain't gonna work, huh?
That ain't gonna work. If she call you.